So guys, welcome back to some more Marvel's Avengers. I'm Taz. Thank you for joining me. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. So before we get started with this initial video of this next batch of Breakout on Thor, I wanted to show you something. So we've done 40 Breakout missions, mostly on Challenge 1. We got the belt on Storm, which I will show you again in a few seconds, but I've also ran I would say between 20 and 40 co-op Tachyon rifts as well. And the reason why I want to show you my Iron Man is because I actually got this belt last night. So, well, it's not really a belt, but it's his arc reactor. And I actually think it works really well for my build here. 17% chance when defeating enemies to temporarily activate Tachyon Surge. Increases all damage by 50%. And it increases the amount of cosmic damage dealt with any attack by 20%. And it increases the heroic support ability, which is my bubble. So when I pop my bubble, it basically supercharges me and gives me overcharge. It doesn't drain my intrinsic meter whenever I use my rockets, so I can just spam rockets from within that bubble, and it reflects any ranged attack back to the attacker. So I want that back as soon as possible because that allows me to just spam missiles from far. My chest is garbage. I know that's the next thing I really want to work on. My cosmic repulsors, I wish I had better stats. I wish we had a recalibration station that I could roll, something off there to get me some more precision. But I find I get more might gear with Iron Man for some reason. I'm not sure why. But willpower burst is always nice from range, just in case you get hit. It heals you back up a little bit. Cosmic missiles, of course, amazing. They heal you as well. So when an enemy has cosmic or is taking cosmic damage, you're basically doing damage and healing yourself. And 45% chance in defeating enemies grants a heroic burst. So I'm, getting my Hulkbuster back, which is what I use for my old crap button. Heal up. While you pop into it, you heal up to full. You pop right out of it, and within a second or two, within a couple of seconds, you've got your Hulkbuster fully charged up again. And I got these gauntlets of the Storm. Now, they are really good. I wish they were a different element than plasma, but I've got two positives going on here. The thing is, I'm not really on the ground as much to actually do that damage with melee, so I don't really find I'm activating it through this way. So I am looking out for another set of gloves if I'm gonna farm this mission again to get another set here, but not 100% sure. I would love to get a Jarvis barrier piece. Maybe not a melee crit, but maybe on the chest, maybe on perfect evade. I don't know. But I'm keeping a hold of these because I'm still testing out that increased status damage for all weapons. Because I'm doing cosmic and because I'm doing so much more cosmic and so much more status damage, I'm thinking about switching over from Darkhold to a Tachyon to give myself some more status damage. Anyway, just an idea as to where we're going with that. You know what? Let's try him as a support character in this run. I want to see if it activates for. Well, it doesn't really show a graphic, right? So, but yeah, we're back to this again. I was watching someone on Twitch last night, and he was just complaining after every time he completed it, that he didn't get an exotic, and he was on like run 30 or 31. And I'm like thinking, bro, you ain't got nothing on me, man. You ain't got nothing on me.
You'll have to work fast.
Honestly, I think the fastest way to do this is don't even bother grouping up. Stay solo. and
we're dropping you at the heart
just
of the
power your
storm.
way through it.
Things might get a little weird. Reliving your past.
Thing is, he was using
Just
Iron
stay
Man,
focused on
and he
completing
didn't
the
want to go
mission.
rockets.
This is the only way we can get
He
accurate
wanted to
data on
go
the storms.
lasers, which is just fine. But if you're pushing to get gear, you want to clear content as quickly as possible. Go the strongest build. Just do whatever you need to do to farm efficiently and quickly, and it makes it more fun. Or it makes it tolerable, I guess. Not fun, yeah. I'm on my batch of 40 to 60 right here of straight Breakout, so I wouldn't consider this to be fun anymore. It's super repetitive.
A resistance ally is in trouble nearby and needs your help.
Do you think we'll find something to prove AIM is hurting Inhumans?
And typically, I throw some tunes on and just kick back and listen to that. Hulk almost got in my way there.
I'm afraid that's not enough.
So don't worry about your health even. If you go straight to the point, you'll always make it in time. I think it slows down actually. You only lose a certain amount of your health. You don't fully lose it. But it gets you down to about 85%, I think. Where they at? Where they at? As you see, I got a Tachyon Surge active. That's what's on my belt. Oh, that's not even. Damn it, Kamala. Had them nicely lined up. Oh crap, I didn't have my heroic up yet. So one thing with the Tachyon Surge or the Jarvis barrier, that buff, I kind of wish it would like double proc, it would overlap procs. What happens is when you have it and you kill enemies, it never replaces it. It always waits for it to wind down.
Hey guys, not doing so good.
And oh, I need some health. I don't need some health, but I'll grab some. Yeah, it always seems to wind down the timer and you can't replace that buff. Just really quickly, this is my belt that I got. Really cool, fits in with my build super well. But I'm actually looking for Gift of the Storm, so it puts Tachyon Surge on my hammer. And I'm looking for a Cosmic Gift of the Storm, so you know, not a minor feat to farm one random piece of gear with 2 perks that I absolutely need on it, right? But anyway, yeah. And then chest, I still need to get a replacement. I've got this one, but it just kills my stats, and I honestly, I would use it just because it's another way of getting a perfect evading. But on here, I would rather use my Jarvis barrier belt and use what is it? The Tachyon Surge on the hammer. So I'm getting Tachyon Surge off of range crits, and I'm applying cosmic damage off range crits as well. Would go really well, really well. But yeah, come on RNG.
That did not go as planned.
Too.
If you destroy the two
I do the
transporters on
exact
upper
same
level,
thing every time.
the doors should open.
Your defeat was inevitable.
Big numbers, big numbers. There's an enemy. Hard to show you guys. Tachyon surge. Everything dies so quick on challenge 1, but maybe in another video or another part of this. I think there's a couple of mobs coming up where you can really see the effect of it. Where the hell is the enemy? There it is. Nope, that's not him. Oh, we gotta... Damn. Noob mistake. Never mind. You guys didn't see that.
That did it. Let's get in there.
So there's always 3 portals that spawn in this area here, so while you're waiting for the elevator you can just keep spamming them and yeah.
Where to?
Records show a secure lab at the end of this hallway. If you want, you can farm those chests over there out of haste and speed. I've been skipping them. Network. They're hiding something. Stand by and see to the
typically a run takes about between 9 and 12 minutes.
Please work fast, Jarvis. Fast as my processor allows.
Come on, come down here, big boy. Watch the damage here. Tachyon surge is active. This finisher, it's bugged. I don't think I've seen damage come from it in a long time.
It seems AIM intends to physically remove some kind of research samples from their experiments.
Maybe I'll try this on challenge 4, see how it goes.
Ship is preparing for takeoff.
Whatever's on that transport, I want it captured. Get to it before it leaves.
But it doesn't really matter. It's yeah, loot isn't tied behind challenges. It's only resources. So if you want a bit of an actual challenge, then yeah, play it on a harder difficulty. But there's no real benefit for it, really. Hopefully they'll change that. They really need to tie something in with bumping the difficulty up. Like a better chance to get exotics, or better chance to get 5-star gear, or make the actual stars mean something.
Get close to those terminals so I can infiltrate their network. We must control all 3 to override the transport's navigation systems. Be on guard. AIM will try to regain control of the terminal. We just lost an access point. Return it to our control.
I've had a bunch of missions where these portals don't even appear. Super frustrating. It is possible to complete this without
control of a terminal.
A rift, though. You just have to get the point as quickly as possible. And keep an eye out on all the other ones as well, so that if it looks like someone's gonna take it, you get it. So they have to be ammo at the same time. A, I'm pretty happy with, because my teams usually hangs out there. But they'll still screw it up like this.
regained control of a terminal.
See, because I was in the area there, their progress should have been slowed down. And damn it. That's it. A lot of you guys have been messaging saying you've had better luck than me. Awesome, awesome. It all comes down to RNG at the end.
Our suspicions were correct. These
of
tachyon
course,
storms
we
are
get a
responsible
belt
for those strange
on the
disruptions you've
first
been
one.
experiencing.
Damn it.
Almost like a global shockwave. The pulses themselves are disorienting
Well,
for
maybe
now,
it's a better
but
roll.
if these
Who
storms
knows?
are any indication, they could get much worse. We'll
You got
process
a
the rest of this
Valor
data
and
ASAP.
Resolve.
As we identify locations, I'll send the
Same
coordinates to your
percentages.
war table. The more intel we
Oh,
get,
this is a
the
shock
sooner we
one.
can get a handle on these tachyon storms.
Damn, what a waste. Oh well. Hopefully, but I will say this, that is the second mission after I got that other exotic last night. Because I got the exotic, then I hopped off for the day. I just got this one right away. So I got 2 exotics back to back. Different missions. Different difficulties as well. I think we were doing the More Than Inhuman last night on Challenge 4. But yeah, there you go. We got another gear piece that we could have got anything else. Anything else. It would have been kind of cool to look at. But we got the one that we didn't really need. Usually my typical... that's the way it goes for me when I get gear in games. But yeah, anyway, rinse and repeat. I'll catch you with the collage of hopefully not 19 more. Until next time, take it easy.
AIM has regained control of a terminal. Please
Our
deal with it.
suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a global shock. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a global shockwave. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a global... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a global... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a global shockwave. The pulses themselves are disorienting for now, but if these storms are any indication, they could get much worse. We'll process the rest of this data ASAP. As we identify locations, I'll send the coordinates to your war table. The more intel we get, the sooner we can get a handle on these tachyon storms. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a global shock. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Almost like a global shock. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing. almost like a global shockwave. The pulses themselves are... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost like a global... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost like a global... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost like a global shockwave. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost like a global shockwave. The pulses themselves are disorienting for now, but if these storms are any indication, they could get much worse. We'll process the rest of this data ASAP. As we identify locations, I'll send the coordinates to your war table. The more intel we get, the sooner we can get a handle on these tachyon storms. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost like a global shock. Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost... Our suspicions were correct. These tachyon storms are responsible for those strange disruptions you've been experiencing, almost like a global shockwave.